All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Sports Junkie Lounge.
Hey,
First of all, the playoffs has been crazy. We had just got done with the semi
yes,
Eastern and Western Conference,
yes.
but we'll get into that. Big news
I was,
on, I think it's CBS or NBC, or yeah, NBC Sports. Apparently, in the beginning of the season, I think in October or August, I have to check my dates on those. Um, Michael Jordan is on the broadcast
yeah,
staff.
I
yeah,
seen that.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, legend.
yeah.
He won't dip his toe into letting these know about themselves.
So yeah, that's gonna be interesting because
Mm-hmm.
it said a special broadcast. So I don't know if he's just gonna be doing it just
Oh.
for a short time or if he's actually like getting into it. I ain't mad at it.
What broadcasting? What? Just NBA?
Yeah.
What? Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know what it didn't really say what that entailed on the special
Right,
broadcast.
because NBC doesn't do NBA. ABC,
No,
TNT.
no,
and,
it's NBC. Yeah, NBC.
no, I'm saying NBC doesn't do NBA though.
Yeah, they do. They signed that new deal.
Oh, next season.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So
why.
Michael Jordan is 62.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gray?
Huh?
He bald.
What's he look
He
like
bald.
now? I know he's bald, but he's got facial
Well, he's
hair.
clean shaven.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still
Nah,
clean
yeah,
shaven.
nah,
He was
don't have
always
that.
clean shaven though.
Yeah.
Well, I think
had
he
like a
had a
moment.
little goatee.
in his younger.
Yeah, there was
in his
like a
younger-
moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had a goatee.
But all I've known of him is him.
But yeah,
not
I'm sure
having
he's got. I'm
always-
sure he's gray by now. Life is hard when you're rich.
Yeah,
Life
but
is hard.
62, I don't know. He might not be yet.
Yeah.
Or salt and pepper.
I've seen him with stubble. I think it's gray.
I'm gonna look up an image while y'all talking about the. That
I mean, I can't say nothing. I'm 39, just turned 39. I'm going.
Baby.
I got gray hair. My hair is turning back to white, so it's all good. But anyway, so they Harry did the coming up on the draft. Speaking of the NBA, starting out, we got they did the lottery
Hmm.
for the NBA draft.
Yeah, they think they're thinking it's rigged because Dallas Dallas has the number one. Well, they got the number one pick, but I guess they already had the number two pick. I guess they got that. I mean, they got the one.
I don't
and
know
two
because
pick.
as of, on paper, it's got Dallas, the Mavericks at 1, Spurs at 2,
Oh,
the 76ers at 3,
Jordan gained some weight, didn't he?
the Hornets at 4, and the Jazz at 5, Wizards at 6, Pelicans at 7, Brooklyn at 8, Toronto at 9, and the Rockets at 10. That's just the top 10. So
ooh, good for the Rockets.
yeah.
Hope they don't go out there and get another damn guard. Oh my gosh, they just guard him.
I know they need some bigs. I think.
They just they don't need all of them guards. They can get some. They got plenty of room to get a nice little 4, get a nice little 3.
I wonder
Yeah.
what he does to his head to get that shine. I need it. I don't went down the rabbit hole. Y'all
Yeah,
leave me
he
alone.
did. So that's the NBA draft. That's
Well,
just
what
the
do you
top
think
10.
about it being rigged, though? I mean, they saying because Dallas just out of the blue gets rid of Luka, no.
I mean,
in
looking
the
at
dark, he, like a thief in the night, he was off to the Lakers, and then they end up getting the number one pick, and everybody thinks that, Cooper Flag is going to be him. I don't. A lot of people do. I've seen a couple of NBA players that say I don't see it, and I'm inclined to agree with them for a lot of reasons. But what do you think about the theory, conspiracy?
I mean, looking at
The conspiracy theory.
who's on at least the top 10. I think I've seen a lot more on there that probably should have had more picks, or like not more picks, but more chances for the number
Well,
one
they
pick.
do. It's that
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't see how out of all those, how
Right.
the Mavericks had enough balls in the pit to outcount those.
because they made the play-in. So they wasn't
Yeah.
there. They made the play-in player. They got in there. So yeah.
But I mean, the Spurs didn't even make the play in.
Yeah.
The Hornets didn't even make the play in.
Right.
Did Toronto? make play-in?
No.
Yeah. Trailblazers,
No.
Bulls.
I believe they did. Or I might be getting it mixed up with last season. I can't remember. I feel like they did, but don't quote me on that.
The Hawks.
Who?
The Hawks. Atlanta.
No.
Yeah. See, those teams right there should have had more. Should have had more balls in the pit, more than the Mavericks to counter what the Mavericks had in there.
I think they did though.
Because
they had more balls. It's just a matter of which ball comes. All it takes is one.
Yeah. I mean, granted, but it just I don't know that it does seem a little fishy, but I'm not one of those skeptics that say, oh, they got a script going on, because there's a lot of talk about, oh, they got the script because there was a picture that they showed of I think it was at SmackDown where Brunson and Halliburton was in the ring, and they was like, oh, the NBA already had a script. And I was like, they ain't got no script. Like, this is like game time. You don't know what's gonna happen.
No.
That's the one thing I always liked about sports, is it's hard to rig because everything happens in a moment. So,
because they could easily say, "Oh, they just trying to get LeBron in there." So many people said that when Luka went to the Lakers, but you know me and Luka, we don't G like that, because Luka's that one-way player, and I'm like, Lakers ain't going nowhere. They're not gonna get out of first round. Luka's gonna be him. They've been doing it and doing it and doing it. Luka's the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's one of the top 3 players in the league. And then when he gets in that playoff and you see he hurts his team. Then it all comes out. Oh, Luka needs to lose weight. Luka got to be able to move his feet. Luka, man, say that. I don't want to hear that. Y'all need to say it during the season when y'all singing his praises. Talk about his weaknesses too.
Right.
So I ain't never been a Luka fan like that. Period.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah, all that scoring's cool, but I mean, I'm a defensive guy. Right. I grew up in a defensive era, so I like defensive players more than scoring. So anybody can score the ball.
I think Luka can be stopped anyway.
Yeah, they all can be stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing I do like about the Knicks is the kind of defense they play.
They're a second half team, boy. Don't go to sleep on them.
Yeah.
I don't want to get off the conspiracy theory topic. Because I want to add something to that real quick. Because I want to piggyback off what you said. And I agree with you as far as I believe in. I don't have time for all of that. I want to watch sports and enjoy sports, win, lose, or draw.
Right.
I don't want to be engaged in no conversation with somebody about, man, the NFL is rigged. Well, then don't watch that shit.
No.
Then don't watch it, because I don't want to hear it.
No.
I don't want to hear it, because I'll be damned if my Raiders win to beat the Chiefs, and y'all talk about it's scripted. No, y'all not gonna do my Raiders like that. We have earned this, so I don't want to hear it. They only wanted the Raiders to win because of Pete Carroll. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. When the Raiders, we got a squad, and that's a whole nother episode when we get into NFL football. But I don't want to hear that stuff when the Raiders finally start winning, man. It may not be this season, but I'm just saying. So I'm too old for that, man. I just want to sit back and critique my team, and I'm not even one to gloat, because I know where my team. Unless you're a Chiefs fan, because I know y'all Chiefs fans, y'all gonna give me that work. Y'all gonna give me the business when y'all beat us. So y'all always gonna get it regardless. So, but for the most part, I don't believe in the conspiracy theory thing either. I try to leave that alone. I just leave it alone.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. It's like I said, I like to enjoy the sports because it's the one thing you don't know what's going to happen. You can have your suspicions. You can probably be like, yeah, I can guarantee you this team's going to beat that team.
Right.
But when it comes down to the stretch, like you said, it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
And this is the one thing I do like about the playoffs that it's showing, that it's anybody's game right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really dominated by one player. It's not dominated by one team. It's anybody's game to grab. Speaking of which, we had just got done with the conference semi-conference finals of the West and the East. So on the West, you had the Thunder outlasting the Nuggets 4-3, which I think really that's been the only game that's been maybe.
Let's go on 7.
No, that's 2. It's about it's the third game that's went to in the whole playoffs. This went to a game 7. So then you got the Timberwolves and the Warriors was a gentleman's sweep. Timberwolves won. In the East, you had the Cavaliers and the Pacers. Pacers won, gentleman's sweep. And then New York and Boston.
Like I said, man,
4-2.
Boston. Until you dethrone them, they the champs, and they went down. I mean, it was Tatum ruptured his Achilles, toward it, successful surgery. He won't be back next season.
No.
Yeah, but I don't know if they would have won that game even if he'd went out. I would have liked to have seen Boston be able to try to take the series with him rather than without him, because there was just no way they were going to get through New York. The Madison Square Garden without him.
They did go down swinging. It's not like
not in Madison Square Garden. That's what I'm talking about. Madison Square Garden. There was just no way with the lights and all of the celebrities and former players, Hall of Famers there, and it was a lot. You could just tell it wasn't in them. It wasn't in them. It was not in them. It was not. They got dog walked, and then I mean, even the coach. I mean, Jaylen Brown fouled out in the third quarter. The coach just threw in the towel. He had 5 fouls with over half the quarter left. He said, "Stay on out there, man. We're not gonna win this, and we gotta." And I'm gonna say this about New York. They in the first half, or even in the third quarter, they really didn't do a lot to run away with it. It was gradual because the Celtics just kept shooting threes. Yeah. They just kept shooting threes. If they'd have just worked their way back into it, if Jaylen Brown, I feel like he could have been a better leader like he was in that game in Boston where he was getting everybody involved and they was getting the easy twos. But in New York, they heart wasn't in it. He was the only one scoring, but he was doing his usual turnover machine thing. So I just never thought that they could get through New York, get through Madison Square Garden without Tatum. So not sure if they would have won the series, but I would have liked to have seen them because they were up every game by 20 at least, every game, including the one that he got hurt in.
Yeah. I mean, and honestly, I don't know.
Boston needs a defensive identity. This coach, Mazzulla, he doesn't have a defensive identity. He's got players that can. They got a good defensive team, but he doesn't have that defensive stopper like when they had Smart. But that's before Mazzulla. When they had Smart as he was that dude. He's gonna go out there and try to lock you up. He's gonna put the clamps on you, and he's gonna set the tone.
Yeah.
And they don't have that. It used to be Drew Holiday. But he's been hurt, and he wasn't going. And he's getting older too. And he's not that man to be able to bounce from player to player. And he can put a little bit of weight on Brunson, but he can't make him. He's not going to make Brunson work on both ends because he's not an offensive threat like that.
So they got the 28 pick in the draft. So
yeah.
It'll be hard to get a good, decent player like that, especially because they're going to need somebody. They'll probably need 2 defensive players, one for the front court and the back court.
Yeah, who are they going to get to replace Tatum scoring? That's the big question.
Yeah,
that next year is going to be a big question. They're going to have to rethink some things. Because Tatum, he's just not going to come. If he comes back, it may be, if they can get into the playoffs, it may be the playoffs. But about this time next year. But he's not playing next year. He's got to go through rehab. And the season starts in October?
Yeah,
it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah, not with what he has.
Nah, so I'm curious. It's going to be curious. It's going to be funny to see.
Tell you who did go down swinging though was Cavaliers. They went down swinging with the Pacers. So,
did they? What was the series?
It was a gentleman's sweep, but that one game they put their hearts out on there. They just wasn't able to outlast their scoring. So with Siakam, Halliburton, and then
consistent.
They
let Indiana come in and get them first two at home, man. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Ain't no way, man. You the best. You the best team in the East, and almost in the whole league. You had the best record in the East. Right behind the OKC for the whole NBA. And then Bickerstaff gets fired. They blame it on the coach.
I know.
You made me feel like LeBron was there. Well, let's just blame LeBron, America. Let's just blame him just because. I'm just kidding, America. I'm just kidding. Relax.
So that brings us to our Eastern Conference final, the Knicks and the Pacers.
Who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Knicks.
I'm going with the Pacers.
I'm gonna go with the Knicks, just because I think, like you said, they're a second half team that can sneak up on you, and the Pacers almost got them last year.
They did get them. Remember, Brunson went out hurt.
Oh yeah.
The Pacers lost to the Celtics in the finals.
Yep.
So
I thought it was the other way around. I thought the Boston Celtics got the.
So it's easy for you. So I mean, if you're going for the Knicks, I can see that because of how it played out last year. That it went down to the wire last year, but Brunson was hurt.
Yeah,
Brunson
and not even that, but they end up they did give a couple key pieces away.
DiVincenzo's gone.
Yeah, and then Hartenstein.
So,
but I mean,
they got rid of Julius Randle for Towns.
Yeah, which I mean, Julius Randle for Towns that wasn't really canceled. That canceled each other out because I mean they're both
in the finals. In their conference finals.
Well, they both disappear at times and they both come through at times. So it's kind of a toss up, even though it's our Kentucky boys. But
yeah, go Big Blue, baby. Yeah.
Which we actually got a lot of Big Blue players in the
playoffs. Yeah, do tell. That's still left.
That's still there. You have I lost it.
Start with
you got SGA.
Yeah, for OKC and
then you got Casey Wallace.
Yeah, he's on OKC. Yeah.
Then you have Dillingham with Timberwolves.
Yeah. Julius Randle with the Timberwolves.
Yeah. Then you got Cat with the Knicks.
Yeah, is there anybody else?
And I think Tshiwe is actually on the roster for the Pacers.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I think he was at the Kentucky Derby. Yeah. Okay. Good for him.
So yeah, I don't know because I know they did bring him up for a while from the G League. I don't know if they kept him on the roster
for the playoff roster. Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
But good to know though. But
little side note, America.
Yeah. So let's talk about, speaking of side notes and coincidence and stuff. So let's talk about the Western Conference, semi-conference.
Western Conference what?
The semi-conference, Western semi-conference finals.
Oh, the semi-finals.
Yeah.
You keep saying the semi-conference.
I'm getting my words jumbled up. I can't talk today, man.
Like, is this a new G League for I don't know what he was talking about.
I can't talk.
When did this happen? Who's the commissioner? The semifinals of the Western Conference.
Yes. So the Thunder and the Nuggets. The coincidence about that one is Westbrook is on the Nuggets and he got beat by his old team, the Thunder.
Yeah.
And
after he showed out against the Clippers.
Yeah.
With that reverse dunk with the tech and all of that, he tried to or I don't know if it was a reverse dunk, but but he tried, that was his. Here's for not for not making me shine or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to stay humble, man, because it ain't over till you get getting that trophy.
Yeah. So Yeah, which I mean, the Nuggets they did lose the game 7 pretty bad, but I mean they went down swinging too. They like I said, it was the Nuggets has been the only team that actually has skated through first 2 rounds in a game 7.
Yep.
So
I wonder if they keep the coach, because you know they got rid of the head coach right before, like the last 4 games of the season.
I know.
So that makes you wonder. That just makes you wonder: did they get what they deserve, or did he do enough to keep his job?
I don't know. I think they got what they deserve because I mean, I don't think they should have let. I don't think they should have let him go because he had too much camaraderie with the players.
He got a title.
Yeah, and I mean,
plus it was only 4 games left in the regular season.
Yeah.
Who does that?
So I don't think that was fair at all.
It's bad. It's bad business, and it's just as bad for the team. Especially if you've never played and you're up in the upper management and you make a move like that, you know, you don't know sports. That's just not it. Players got to readjust it. This coach is going to have a whole different philosophy because he's fighting for a permanent. He's just an interim head coach, so he's going to implement things that are going to make him shine. That he hopes that will work. You know, he's probably been sitting back like, oh, I wish the coach would do this. I wish the coach would do that. I believe we would be more successful if we use this on defense. And so when he gets the head coaching job, he's going to implement his philosophy. And so that means that the team is going to have to scrap what they've been doing the whole season.
Yeah, well, the past 2 seasons.
Right. Well, I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying because it was only 4 games left in the season.
Yeah.
So they've been doing the whole season, they basically got to scrap that. And I'm sure he was smart enough to say, you know, I'll just tweak it. I'll just tweak it a little bit. But at the same time, like I said, he's trying to get a permanent position, and so he's going to tweak it enough to that they, you know, look, if y'all do this, we can win. But that was not the case. So I wonder if he's going to get to keep his job. Did he do enough? I don't know. That blowout was in OKC too, though. So, and OKC, they were the number 1 team last year, but I thought they were too little. I didn't think they were going to win anyway because they were too little.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, so it just
OKC being, like I said, I just felt they were too little.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, and Chet Hungry, he put up a good fight this time with Jokic. So
who beat them last year? Who went to the Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas, and they front line with PJ.
Yeah.
And Gafford and the other guy, I forget his name. Anyway, they were too big for. That's why OKC went out and got Hartenstein. That was a good pickup for them.
Yeah.
And they got rid of Giddey. Giddey was just not a defensive presence.
Well, and I think that whole thing with Giddey last year kind of threw their rhythm off, you know.
But they still was the best team. They were still the best team in the West.
They were
still the number 1 team.
Like I said, in the playoff, when that hit during the playoffs, I think that kind of messed up their rhythm because they was just. Well, it was earlier in the season.
Yeah,
it was the middle of the season.
It wasn't.
It messed up the rhythm because there was animosity there with the team. Right. So, but
I think that OKC is, and they're a year older, as far as they were able to look at what they did last year and where they needed to, because their defense was good last year, but this year it was off the charts, and so I think that. And then they play and SGA, he turned out to be, this year he stepped out and became the head of the team, but he invites everybody in. Like when he does post game interviews on the floor, he brings his whole team over, and that matters. And that matters. I mean, they're a young team, and so. He's like, we're gonna do this by committee, because everybody pretty much has a green light. And then Williams stepped up; he's an all-star. So they just improved. They just made some. They just like I said, they went. And Hartenstein is he's solid. He's an offensive rebounder. He can get you extra shots.
Yeah. Well, he stays with any play.
Mm-hmm. He's always got his hand on the ball. Yeah, he keeps the ball alive. So I thought that was an awesome pickup.
Yeah. Speaking of pickups and not a good one, so we got Randall with Timberwolves. I think the only thing that made them get past the Warriors is that Steph Curry was out. I know they're talking about Anthony Edwards being a legend killer, but I can't with these titles, man.
I wasn't buying it. I don't think Golden State advances even with Steph. I don't see it. I
don't think it would have been a gentleman's sweep if they had Steph.
I mean, let's not forget, Golden State was a 7 seed.
Yeah.
And the thing about them is, they've been doing this song and dance for a few years now, where you get a young 2 seed in the first round, like they did Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Like but Ja gets hurt every now and then too. He's tweaking something, but
no.
They always their experience gets them through that first round. But the Timberwolves, they went to the conference finals last year, and they're a year older, and they made some moves too. Like I said, Julius for Cat, and I like that. Get Cat out of here. I like him, but he was not what they needed.
Well, that's why I say him and Randall kind of cancel each other out on that like trade.
And they were having problems early. They were having problems early. They started out all right, but then they lost momentum. They were saying that there was in-house arguing between the players and all of that, but you just block out the noise and just let them cook.
Right.
You just got to gel. It just takes time, and now it's paying off. So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I'm glad that Golden State is not in it. I get tired of seeing Draymond hacking, intentionally flailing his arms and then crying about Tex, and he just shut the hell up, dude. Shut up and play.
Now you got Rudy Gobert to do that.
Rudy Gobert, he's a quiet one. We're not gonna talk about the Frenchman, Rudy G.
And that's one of the factors why I do see the Thunder beating the Timberwolves in the East, in the Western Conference, and the Western Finals.
I think OKC's defense is better, and I think that they can shoot better. I don't think the Timberwolves. If the Timberwolves try to keep up with OKC, it's going to be a problem. They got to play their game. They can't try to.
Yeah, no. If you run with them, they're going to tire you out.
Yeah, and they're going to. If they force you to, they can get out on the ends, and they can get in them passing lanes and all of that.
And that's one thing too.
Like that.
That's one thing funny about SGA is he can get you in foul trouble real quick.
Yeah. You look up, the game is tied, and then two minutes later, you're down by 11 points. Like, wow, what just happened? We had to leave by one.
I will possibly say, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there, it may be the Thunder's year this year, the way it's shaping up.
Yeah. Because
I can see them beating the Timberwolves, and I can see them beating either the Pacers or the Knicks.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the Knicks, they were 0 and whatever against against Boston, against Oklahoma City and Cleveland. They didn't beat them all year.
Yeah.
Those top 3 teams. So they came out. I mean, and that's why I kept saying, Boston going to run over them, but they didn't know they didn't have a defensive presence, and they didn't know how to seal the deal.
I will say that, and that's one of the reasons why I want to see the Knicks make it to the finals, because you either got Hartenstein facing the Knicks, or you got DiVincenzo facing the Knicks. I
cannot believe they did that, man.
I think that would be good. I think that would be good for for either player to be able to win that championship after getting traded from a team that you could have kept both players and had a righteous team. You know what I mean? Like left Cat out, traded Randall, keep Hartenstein and DiVincenzo, and that would have been a pretty good squad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they can last because they're young, so they can last longer. But yeah,
If I'm Hartenstein, I'm happy that it was OKC that they traded me to.
right.
So I wouldn't even,
No doubt.
to be honest, if I'm him and we end up winning it and beating the Knicks, I'm gonna thank him.
Yeah.
Good looking out.
Right.
Good looking out.
Yeah, no, that's the best case scenario because, like you
Yeah.
said, the Timberwolves they kind of have some, something not right there, behind closed doors.
They on their way though.
It is.
I think they're a year away, maybe a year or two. I just can't see it.
They need a few more pieces. I think, and I do think that Gobert ties them down at some points because he's one of them unpredictable players. But
Come out there and get 6 rebounds. Don't do it, FanDuel.
I
I got him to get 6 rebounds. He gets 5. Like, for real? Gobert, golly. What the? Oh, my gosh. Yes.
have him go get 15 points. He's got 12.
He don't even crack double figures. They have 9 at halftime and end up with 11 for the game.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my gosh, yeah. He's the human asterisk. You just don't know. He's the wild card in there for some reason. I don't know.
I mean, same thing you can say about Randall. Same thing you can say about Siakam.
Randall's been playing though. He's been playing these playoffs. I mean, the whole playoffs. He's been playing. He's been hooping. He's been hooping. He's getting triple doubles for you and everything.
I know, but I mean, Cat's done the same thing. But then
Cat was coming up missing in that first series.
I'm saying he's done that. He's done that in the beginning of the playoffs. He's done that, beast out, and then towards the end, he gassed himself out.
But I could roll with Randall. I could roll with him better than I could with Cat. I could roll with Randall. Cat will get you 10 points and 6 rebounds for some reason, and after having 25 and 15.
No.
So yeah.
But
What else you got for me, man? Who you picking? Who you got in the finals representing the East? You said the Knicks.
I think it's gonna be the Knicks and the Thunder.
And the Thunder coming out on top.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going OKC and Indiana, and I just got to roll with OKC, man. That defense wins titles, man. I don't care what they say, man. Defense wins titles. When your shot is off, the name of the game is to prevent that other team from scoring as well. So
I got to roll with the Thunder anyways. 'Cause, I mean, I always like the history of the Thunder with them being the Supersonics.
My favorite team.
I know. I really miss the Supersonics, but them being the Supersonics, they got to the finals the one year with Durant, Harden, and Westbrook.
They was ahead 3?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, they tricked.
And
that's when you knew KD was not. He was not him. KD was not him. And then
neither one of them.
Well, the KD was conceding, but not only he wasn't taking the big shots, but then Westbrook was taking the shot when it was time to pass. He's coming down taking 3 and 4 straight shots. Like, here, we all need a bucket, man. But KD
Harden was nowhere to be found.
Yes, that's the story of his life. He's already coming off the bench.
So yeah,
I forgot about him.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So yeah, okay. But OKC has made it to the finals. They got beat by who? The Lakers.
Yeah.
Okay, so they've tasted it, but they know
But
it'd be nice for them to get there and win it.
Yeah. But that's the one thing that I will say about on that Thunder team, KD and Nick Collison.
Oh, Collison. Nick Collison.
Yeah, they were the last 2 Supersonics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah,
good stuff.
I got a Durant Supersonics jersey.
Do you? Wow, good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So yeah, so I honestly would be happy to see the Thunder as a collective, as an organization, finally get a championship.
Yeah, as a reflection of the Supersonics.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I got for you, man.
Good stuff, America. If you're able to leave a comment, let us know. What are your thoughts on the playoffs and who you think who your picks? Who your picks?
Tell us about anything. If you got anything about the Michael Jordan going to broadcasting, the beginning of the next season, then you got tell us some of your picks in the draft and who you got for the
Yo,
playoff for the rest of the
is
playoffs.
there somebody else you could see over Cooper Flag?
I don't. I honestly,
don't either. But
yeah,
I mean,
honestly think he's a shoe in for the number one.
compelling arguments. I just want to hear some arguments.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Yeah, man, come with some good stuff. Don't be just saying it because you don't like Cooper. That's feelings over facts. We don't do that here.
Right. So yeah, that's all we got for the Sports Junkie Lounge, man.
All right.
Peace.